My sister stole my identity to marry my fiancé, so I let her keep both, and now she's trapped in a life she can. T escaped the dress that was never mine the first time I saw the lace. I cried, not the polite wedding. Commercial kind of tears, the ugly snotty, soul-deep kind. My grandmother, Nona Rosa, had spent 3 12 hours stitching Aileen on lace into a gown that looked like moonlight on water. She finished the last pearl the night before her stroke. I was supposed to wear it on the 14th of June, under the same oak tree where my parents had married 29 years earlier. Instead, I watched from the church parking lot as Lila, my identical twin, my shadow, my traitor, glided down the aisle in my dress, holding my bouquet, smiling at my fiancé with my mouth. The theft began in the dark 3 weeks earlier. I came home early from a 12-hour nursing shift to find Lila kneeling in front of my fireproof safe. The combination lock was cracked open like a broken jaw. Papers spilled across the carpet. My birth certificate, social security card, the ultrasound of the baby Mark and I hadn't told anyone about yet. She looked up, mascara streaking. I can explain, she could. It started 6 months ago, she said. Mark had blocked her on Instagram after she slid into his DMs with a bikini pic from our shared childhood album. Desperate, she created a fake profile using my photos. My memories, my voice, she told him about the time I broke my wrist at 8 trying to skateboard off the garage roof. She quoted the love letter I wrote him on our first anniversary. She even used my nickname for his crooked left canine tooth. Mr. Snaggle. He fell harder, they met in secret. She wore my perfume. She laughed at his jokes the way I did with a little snort at the end, when he proposed, on one knee in the planetarium, under the fake stars we kissed beneath in college. She said yes as me. The ultimatum I should. Called the police, told Mark everything. Instead, I sat on the couch and listened to her sob about how Mom always loved me more, how Dad bragged about my nursing scholarship, how she'd been invisible since the day we were born. I just wanted to feel chosen, she whispered. For once, I looked at the ultrasound in her shaking hand. 8 weeks. A lima bean with a heartbeat. Keep it, I said. She blinked. What? Keep the life, the dress, the ring, the baby, all of it. My voice sounded like someone else. Calm, cold, final. But you only get one chance. No take. Backs the vanishing that night, I packed a single duffel, 3 changes of clothes, $4,200 in cash from odd jobs, Nona Rosa's rosary. I left my phone in a Taco Bell dumpster in Newark. I mailed Mark a postcard from a burner phone at a Greyhound station in Philly. Changed my mind. Have the wedding without me. Don T look for me. The real me. I cut my hair in a gas station bathroom with craft scissors. Dyed it the color of rust. Took a bus west until the mountains swallowed the skyline. The wedding I never attended. They still got married. Lila forged my signature on the license. She told the clerk I'd lost my ID in a fire. She wore my veil, my perfume, my name. Mum cried, happy tears. Dad gave a speech about my girls finally growing up. Mark posted a photo of the rings. My engagement diamond now flanked by a plain gold band. Captioning it, she said yes again. The reception was at the country club. Lila danced to our song, Ho Hey by the Lumineers, and laughed when Mark spun her too fast. Just like I used to. Guests toasted to the happiest couple. Number Mark and Maya trended for 12 hours. The crack 6 months later, the first fracture appeared. Mark asked why. I suddenly hated olives. Lila gags at the sight of them. I used to eat them off his fingers. She panicked, said pregnancy cravings. He bought it. Then the OB asked about your C-section scar from the appendectomy at 14. Lila froze. She never had surgery. She mumbled something about a mix. The nurse made a note. The credit cards came next. Lila maxed out my Amex on a designer nursery. $12,000 crib, $3,000 stroller, $800 cashmere onesies. Fraud alerts pinged. The bank called my old number. No answer. They froze the account. Mark started noticing other things. Why did I flinch when he touched the small of my back? Lila, ticklish. I loved it. Why couldn't I remember the name of our first apartment? Why did I cry in the shower every night? The Reckoning been watching from Colorado. Living under the name Elena Cruz. Waitressing at a diner where nobody asked questions. I taught myself basic coding at the library. I dated a quiet carpenter named Jonah who thought my scars were from a car accident. I never told him the truth. When the subpoena came, People v. Lila Mary Brennan. Identity theft, fraud, bigamy. I finally answered. The courtroom smelled like lemon polish and fear. Lila wore a navy suit 2 sizes too big, hair in a limp bun. Mark sat behind the prosecutor, eyes hollow. Mum clutched Dad's arm like it was a life raft. The prosecutor played the voicemail Lila left me the night before the wedding. Recovered from a cloud backup. ID never deleted. If you come back, I'll tell everyone you were crazy. Postpartum depression. They'll believe me, they always do. The judge didn't blink. Guilty on all counts. Lila got 3 years. Mark got 18 months probation for perjury. He signed the license knowing something was off. Mum tried to hug me in the hallway. I stepped back. You picked her, I said. Live with it. The aftermath. Lila's out now, living in a halfway house in Scranton. She works the night shift at a 24-hour pharmacy, ankle monitor blinking under scrubs. The baby. My baby genetically. Was born healthy. Mark signed away rights. I adopted her quietly through a private agency. Her name is Rosa, after Nona. Mark, a realtor in Delaware, selling starter homes to young couples who don't recognize him. He tried to friend me on Facebook once. I blocked him. Mom sends birthday cards to an old address. I let them pile up. The dress last month. I found the gown in a thrift shop in Denver, donated by the country club after the scandal. The lace was yellowed, one sleeve torn. I bought it for $45. Jonah and I burned it in a metal barrel behind our cabin. The flames smelled like lavender and regret. Rosa clapped at the sparks, her tiny hands sticky with marshmallow. Lila wanted my life. I let her try it on. It never fit.